I've been working. And, my mind has been focused on getting my knee healthy and coming back stronger than I've ever been. It was challenging missing, the majority of the football season, and really just focusing on my knee and focusing on my family. So, I kind of just shifted my mind away from football and focusing on my health and my family. I feel great. I'm ahead of schedule, to be exact. I'm going to be back well before training camp. So right now is just focusing, locking in, and that's the key. Like that's the part of this whole journey, with recovering from an injury, is doing everything you possibly can do to make sure that you're ready, and focusing on how you can get better and improve on certain things that you want to improve on while rehabbing the knee. Man, the timing of it was what I thought about instantly was like, man, I didn't finish the season with my teammates, right? Like throughout this whole training camp, throughout this whole time that I've been here with New Orleans, like when the opportunity presented itself for me to be this team's quarterback, I wasn't able to finish. So I focused on that, for a good 3 weeks, because I wanted to be there for them, for the guys. I wanted to lead this team to the playoffs, to a Super Bowl. Thankful that Miss B and Mickey and Kai gave me that opportunity again to do that, and that's what my focus on. That's what my focus is on now. But obviously, that starts with me focusing on my health.
Why was this the destination that you were kind of targeting and wanted to stay here despite, Sean leaving and some different?
I think it's just the continuity. And I know at this position, the quarterback position, that is so important into our success, being able to be in the same offense, being able to play with the same teammates. But this year, I'm going to have Mike Thomas. So that's even better, right? So my position from last year to this year, offensively, is even better, because now I get one of the best receivers to play this game back. So that was exciting. Obviously, I wish we could have got Teron back, but I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see James Hurst get the recognition that he deserves at playing. But obviously, losing Teron, made me think about, like, man, how can we get him back? I wish I could have just brought. I wish we could have did a dual contract together, but that's just not the case. He's value, and what his worth is beyond what we were able to do. So I'm happy for him. But I just love this team, man. I love this city. I wanted to be here. This is my desired location, and like I said, the continuity, that's very important.
Did you worry about maybe having the chance to come back when they were kind of looking at Deshaun and some of those other things?
No, I was focused on my rehab. My main focus is how can we get to run back? How can we get the bunch back? You know what I'm saying? I was more focused on my teammates than stuff that I can't control. Initially, I was like, well, that's none of my business. I have to focus on my knee. And luckily, that's exactly what I was doing. I was focusing on my rehab because, if my knee isn't healthy or where it needs to be, I'm not able to do what I want to do, and that's playing football. So that was my biggest thing. Bottom line, this is a business. I'm happy it turned out the way that it turned out, and like I say, like the stuff that I can control, I can speak on, but the stuff I can't control, I don't worry about it because there's nothing I literally can do.
Have you gotten a chance to talk to Dennis about kind of his vision for, how things are going to look under the new head coaching regime? And, what are some of the differences when you go from an offensive head coach like Sean to a defensive head coach like DA?
Well, when you lose Sean Payton, one of the best play callers to ever coach this game, like that is probably the biggest thing that I had to really sit with this offseason, because I came to the Saints for Sean and Drew, and neither one of those people are here, So definitely knowing that DA has been a part of this organization for a long time, I know that he has what it takes to be a successful head coach in this league. And typically, I mean, we're tied together. So I got faith in DA. I know how he works. I know that every single week, I know that defense is going to be prepared. So I'm excited to, be his quarterback and help him with, the overall picture with making sure that the offense is doing what we need to do, and knowing that the defense is doing what they need to do, and even special teams. Like now he has 3 different aspects as a head coach opposed to just one aspect. And I think that he's earned every right to get back in that position to show that he's a great head coach. But just on the Sean end, like, man, I'm gonna miss Sean. But again, I'm excited that Pete Carmichael and Ronald Curry, they're still there. So I still have some of that continuity there. The people that I was in the meetings with, the people that that I got a chance to prepare with. Obviously, I would love to have a better relationship with Sean and have my career with Sean. But again, like, everything happens for a reason, and I'm excited. I'm excited for Pete, to have the reins. I'm excited to be working with RC, so we can get this offense booming.
As far as the process in free agency, was there an open line of communication between you and the Saints? Did they tell you they were going to pursue Deshaun Watson and tell you explore free agency, and they're going to explore free agency, and maybe we'll all come back together? Or I guess, how did the process work?
I think that was the best part of this free agency process with me, is because there were a bunch of tough conversations that I had with our coaches and with the people on the business side of everything. And I know if their pursuit of Deshaun didn't happen, I would not have been able to have that growth and those conversations with those people in important roles. So I'm thankful. I'm actually thankful that everything turned out how it did, because we did have to have tough conversations. We did have to have conversations that probably that I didn't want to have, or that they didn't want to have, but it ended up leading to this now. I'm here now, and that's what we have to focus on. And how can we lead this team to where we want to be and where we're capable of being?
About ways they want to see you grow or fit the offense better, or what do you mean exactly? What were those tough conversations about?
Tough conversations opposed to how does this team, how does the organization view me? We know how they view other players. We know how they view some of the players that's been a part of the system for a long time. I think it was great to get an understanding of where I stood in this organization, and how the business side and the coaching side viewed me as a player, and where did they believe that I could take this team.
And what was the net result? Because obviously a few days later they signed you to this deal, so they must view you favorably, I guess. What did you take away from that?
We had a compromise. I think we were good, but now it's just action. Like, right, all the tough stuff is done. It's just going out there. It's me getting healthy, and it's us going out there and winning games and making everybody happy, because that's what it's about. That's how they keep their jobs on the business side. That's how DA keeps getting head. That's how DA stays the head coach, and that's how I stayed as quarterback.
How were you doing that from a patient standpoint? Did you turn down actual contract offers or chances to visit other teams in the time because you wanted it to work out with the Saints if it could?
My focus was on my knee. Now, when it was in regard to me in conversations with other teams or in the Saints, I was able to talk about me and how they view me, and that's the thing that I learned throughout this whole process is, and I was curious to see, if you want me to lead this team, what do you think about me? What do you believe that I can accomplish with this team, and are you willing to grow with me and allow this team to get built around me as the quarterback? Because we know that the two of the most important pieces to this whole chess football team is the head coach and the quarterback. So I wanted that commitment, and I wanted to know that that teams could value me, at least a quarter of what I value myself as.
Hey, Jameis, along those same lines, when the injury happened last year, would you say you were close to getting to where you wanted to be within this offense? I mean, it looked like you were starting to gain some momentum within the offense, so to speak.
Absolutely, man. Like, I hate that it happened when it happened, against who it happened against. But it happened, and we learn and grow from every circumstance, every lesson in our life. We have to learn and grow from it. But man, we were about to get on a roll, and that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to have a full off season, knowing that I'm going to be the quarterback of this team. I'm happy that I don't have to go into training camp with a question whether or not I'm going to be leading this team or not. Like, I think that's what a lot of people forget when we talk about continuity, we talk about development. Like, I was not named this team's starting quarterback until a week before we played the Green Bay Packers. And during that same week, we're migrating to Dallas and coordinating different things and having to move our entire family. So me as an overall leader to have an impact on this team the way that I want to have an impact on this team was kind of short stroke, man. It was shortly lived. So I'm excited to get that opportunity to have the full reins, to have everything that I need, and hopefully everyone in the building agrees with that too.
You mentioned Sean. We haven't talked to you since he moved on.
Mm-hmm.
Where were you at when you found out the news? Did you know it was coming? How surprised were you?
Well, no, I was surprised because, like I said, I came to New Orleans for Sean Payton, to work with Sean Payton and Drew Brees. And I lost one after 1 year, and I lost the other after the next year. So it just shows you life goes on, right? You have to cherish those moments that you have with those significant pieces that you're blessed to be around. Like, again, I cherish Teron wholeheartedly because he was a great left tackle. He was a great person. I cherish Sean. I'm so thankful for the lessons that I did learn through that brief time that I had with him. And like I said, like, I had a brief time with him, and I just had 7 weeks to be a starting quarterback. Really, I had 8 weeks to be his starting quarterback. I had 8 weeks to really, talk with him and get stuff coordinated with him about, what we're doing conceptually and get to know him a little bit. So I think definitely knowing that I'm going to be the starting quarterback, hopefully me and DA have already started to develop that process of the head coach to quarterback relationship. And we're going to see where it go from here.
What the team went through last year, how hard was it for you to be away from them while they were going through all of the stuff that they went through last year?
It was very challenging. It was very tough for me.
So you mentioned, Mike Thomas earlier. You're going to have him back ideally. I think last year, I want to say we talked at one point, and you talked about how excited you were to, complete a pass to Mike in a game because it hasn't happened yet. Both the guys are coming off injuries. Have you guys gotten a chance to kind of talk at all and get ready? And just how much of an impact is that to just get him back on the field after a full season without him out there?
Yeah, we talked briefly, and the conversation was congruent. It's about actions, right? Like, we can sit here and dream about the matchup, but we got to go out there and we have to make some work, and we have to do it. We have to make the splash. We have to make the simple plays. We have to make the big plays. We have to do everything that is made out to be, but not just talk it. We got to go and be about it, because I'm definitely looking forward for that opportunity. Again, it translates back to Sean. Like, we thought that we were going to have Mike Thomas, and we didn't. So again, like, how did things change from that? We'll never know, because it didn't happen. So hopefully it happens this year. I know he's ready and locked and loaded, and I'm ready and locked and loaded. So I'm ready to really make some shake there, and I can't continue to talk that up. And I'm just ready for it to happen.
James, what are you anxious to work on, develop, continue to progress in after that small sample size of seeing how you fit in this offense?
Yeah, I'm really excited to focus on my intermediate accuracy. Getting those easy completions to Alvin Kamara. We saw that in the Seattle game, how effective that was. Really perfecting the passes from literally behind the line of scrimmage to 10 yards down the field. Just being more accurate in those areas. I know I can make the big plays, but just staying in the rhythm of completing the football and keeping the offense going throughout the course of a game. is something that I've been able to focus on, which has been so great because right now I'm limited to throwing the ball, 50 plus yards down the field, right? So I have to focus on those specifics in those areas on the field when I'm training. Now, statistically, I did not put up near the numbers that I'm used to putting up. So don't say can't. And I did it effectively this year. I just want to get better at it this year. This was actually the first offense that I was in that, we played the Canadian concept of football where we're efficient on first and second down. And I'm grateful that I got a chance to see Drew Brees do that for a year while he was here. And I can do, Mike, listen, I can do everything on the field. I can do everything your favorite quarterback can do. Hopefully I'm your favorite quarterback, but I can. Like, that's just what my talent speaks for that. But I'm excited to focus and work on that even more, with this being the second year that I'm actually able to work this offense. Because if you watch film of my other teams, like, we're throwing the ball down the field, 7-step drops from under the center. We don't do a lot of that here. So I'm excited to, again, get to continuity to work that part of my game and actually have an entire offseason where I'm getting the reps with my starting guys, right? Where I'm in training camp, where I don't have to be taking reps with guys that, I'm probably not going to even see the second week of the year or even that next week. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to continue to grow as a quarterback, to grow as a leader, and to grow in this offense and get things rolling.
Thank you.
And last one from Doug Luton.
Yeah. Hey, Jameis, you mentioned this offense. How different, have you had conversations with Pete Carmichael yet? How different, what kind of spin do you expect, maybe a little different with Pete than you had last year? How do you expect things to change a little bit?
Well, one thing that's going to change is, again, I think with Mike Thomas, you have a better receiving core with Mike Thomas. I think that changes drastically. And I'm not just talking about the receiver room, because I love our receiver room. I'm talking about how's the defense going to prepare for us. When you have a player of that magnitude, the defense, they have to second guess the things that they're doing. So again, that excitement there, but also just me, again, man, having a full off season with Pete. I never had a full off season with Sean Payton over things that I do well, right? Or things that I could bring to this offense, because I wasn't named the starting quarterback, going into the last offseason. I just didn't have that opportunity, and now I have that opportunity, and I'm going to do my best. I'm going to make the most of it.